First, fast, accurate. With Jennifer Copeland and Rick Schutt. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
Well, new court documents allege the Kosciusko County Sheriff's Department deleted jail interview room video.
Yeah, we've been following this story for quite some time here. Now, state police investigators are alleging that these inmates that are on tape were being interviewed to dig up dirt on a Warsaw City police detective. WSBT 22's Zach Crenshaw is at the live desk right now for us. And Zach, this is all tied to the recent indictment of Sheriff Aaron Rovenstein by a grand jury.
Yeah, that's right, Jennifer. They write in these court documents that the Sheriff's Department initiated an investigation centered on allegations that a Warsaw detective had sex with informants. Documents indicate Sheriff Rovenstein had 5 of his detectives conduct interviews in an effort to dig up dirt. State police say the reason for the investigation is the Warsaw detective asked Sheriff Rovenstein to stop allowing inmate Kevin Bronson unrecorded phone calls and visits. That special treatment was allegedly part of an agreement for Rovenstein to accept $30,000 in cash. Documents say the sheriff allowed the visits and calls to continue and even threatened the Warsaw detective with retaliation. These documents allege the sheriff's detectives deleted footage and intentionally did not record some interviews. The state police investigator wrote he believes the Kosciusko County Sheriff's Department, quote, has shown a pattern to delete or not include information that is inconsistent with the narrative they are trying to prove. The special prosecutor says the investigation is still ongoing. Out of the live desk, Zach Crenshaw, WSBT 22 News.
Hey, good Thursday evening. I'm Matt Rudkin in the First Alert Weather Center. Another gray day today and a bit cooler. A live look in South Bend shows you the low level of clouds and also the lack of anything happening. No significant weather. Did see some rain showers, obviously, but look at the 30s returning. 39 Michigan City, 39 Benton Harbor, 40s for most of Indiana. These are temperature difference from when you were watching me one day ago. Yesterday at this time, 18 to 20 degrees cooler today versus yesterday. Temperatures fall into the 30s overnight, but we rebound nicely. We've got a great way to end the work and school week, but there are changes and a little bit of bumps to get through for the weekend. And next week we will have all the details in your First Alert weather forecast coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Sounds good, Matt. Thanks. New at 6. A new program is helping area veterans. South Bend is one of the first to launch it nationwide. WSBT 22's Hillary Powell is here now. And Hillary, this is all about connecting veterans to services they need.
It is. It's a program that's only in 2 other cities. The Vets Community Connection Program uses the city's 311 call center to get veterans connected to community services. Organizers say they're looking for volunteers to help serve those who serve their country. She's a St. Joseph County Commissioner. But this is how Deborah Fleming helps the community.
I'm a dentist, and this is the way one of the ways I can help.
See you today. Her usual tools are on a dental table, and requests for help come in the form of a call. She's a volunteer with the Vets Community Connections Program. South Bend launched it today. Veterans and active service members who dial 311 can be connected to volunteers like Fleming.
They will call and ask questions, and we can help them and guide them in the right direction. Like to work with the North Central Dental Association to also get other dentists involved in this so that we can help the veterans as well.
So far, more than 50 volunteers have signed up. They'll guide veterans to service providers, some of whom offer discounted services. It's an effort Mayor Pete Buttigieg says matters to veterans like himself.
Coming back into civilian life from active duty is complicated and disorienting. It even was for me, and I knew exactly what I was coming home to. This is not another website on how to get your benefits. This is a human being at the other end of a phone call.
Real people to help veterans move from service member to civilian.
My goal in life has always been to serve people, which is why I became a dentist, and that is a way to serve, serve your country.
And if you would like to get involved in the program, the city is still looking for people who can share advice and share discounted services or expertise. Jennifer, people can check our WSBT 22 mobile app to sign up.
All right, good to know, Hillary. Thank you. Why was a man sent to prison for lying in a cold case murder investigation? We're now hearing from the St. Joseph County, Michigan prosecutor about Ray McCann's perjury charge. He says McCann was the primary suspect in Jodi Perrick's murder for years. The prosecutor says McCann's story kept changing. He displayed suspicious behavior and says McCann did not pass lie detector tests. McCann pleaded no contest to perjury charges for lying under oath.
It doesn't make sense that he would just consistently lie if there isn't some sort of reason for him to do so.
Daniel Furlong is serving 30 to 60 years for Perrick's murder. He pleaded guilty last year. We're told McCann did not know Furlong personally.
Well, a new child abuse registry in Indiana could be up and running by next summer. Now, we've been following Kirk's law for more than a year. The bill headed to the governor's desk right now. It was inspired by the death of a local toddler. It will create a database parents can use to check the criminal record of child care providers. Lawmakers say it will help keep your kids safe.
Yeah, I think it's huge, and I think it has the potential to save Hoosier children's lives, potentially. And so I'm excited about it. I know there's other states that are going down this path as well now, and I think we may be the first state to actually get it done.
Yoder's office expects the governor to sign the bill into law later this month. WSBT 22's Patrick Roth is talking to the New Paris family who pushed for this law. He'll have their reaction tonight at 11.
New at 6, a message many of us just aren't used to hearing. It's a different way of understanding why bad things happen. A local pastor is challenging us to think differently about God's role in those situations, and he talks about it in his new book called Good God. As a child, Lucas Miles remembers fear.
I was petrified of God.
Vivid memories of going to church.
I was always afraid. And I can remember times in church they would sing, you know, Amazing Grace or something like that. And they'd get to the third stanza of When We've Been There 10,000 Years. And I would literally have to just run out of the room and like go get a drink of water. The bottom line is I knew about him, but I didn't know him. And that was a big difference for me.
What point do you remember having that different view?
I think it evolved. It wasn't necessarily just like one day.
His wife's heart surgery, mission trips, rather many moments leading to this one.
There you go, guys. Thank you so much.
A book release and signing.
Appreciate it.
His view?
You know, I tell people all the time, God has a PR problem.
He believes in a God so good, people are tempted to give reason to the unreasonable.
When somebody experiences heartache, like a miscarriage that I talk about in the book, and someone comes up and says, well, you know why this happened? God needed another angel. And you know, when you really stop and go, what are we really saying here? What we're saying is that God took your babies. I believe that we have mistakenly put the blame and the condemnation on the problems of this world on him.
And he goes a step further with this.
I believe that God is not the source of my pain. He does not cause problems in my life. And I go, and this is where it gets a little maybe controversial for some people, is I say he's not even allowing the negative situations in our life.
You know, I was among most Christians that say, well, God doesn't cause bad things to happen, but he allows them.
Dr. David Imes is reading Good God for a second time and understands Lucas's belief that far too many Christians are running from personal responsibility, blaming God for things that go wrong, or using him as a way to cope with difficult news.
I think kind of looking back on different negative experiences in my life, and times when I didn't have prayers answered the way that I would have thought a good, loving God would have answered them, and just accepting, well, that's just bad things happen, and that's just we don't understand. I think it's let me reframe some of those things.
Did you question your faith at that point?
There were times, yes.
And it's questions that helped Lucas define his faith. Scary times, like his wife's unexpected open heart surgery.
If God's doing this in my life, if the creator of the universe is bringing these things on me, you know, what hope do I have in getting through it? But if he is not, you know, if he is standing with me, wanting me to experience, you know, his kind of life, then I can have confidence, I can have faith, I can have hope because I'm relying on him because I know that he's not the source of those problems and those pains in my life.
His book just released this week. He has an official book signing this Saturday at Barnes & Noble, and this was a 2-book deal. He's already working on the second one. We'll put all the details of his book signing on our website, WSBT.com.
Jennifer, thanks a lot. Oh, this is why they call it March Madness,
indeed.
right? Notre Dame, just about an hour ago or so, pulled off the huge win over Duke. Means they're still alive in that ACC tournament.
Yeah, it does. And what a game it turned out to be. Whether you want to call it the luck of the Irish or, I don't know, maybe a champion swagger, whichever you prefer. Notre Dame was in big trouble today against Duke. but a late rally propels them into the ACC semifinals. Let's take a look. Mike Bray looking for his 5th win over his mentor, Coach K, since the Irish joined the ACC. But it was Duke who appeared to be heading for a rematch with North Carolina. Matt Jones knocks down the second half three. Duke's up by 16 with 10 minutes to play. But that's when Notre Dame digs in and goes on a run. Bonzie Colson collects the turnover, takes it in for the basket, 10-0 Irish run, pulls Notre Dame within 6. Zach August gave him a huge emotional lift, blocks the shot on one end, and down on the other end, knocks down the reverse. August led the way with 19 points and a school record 22 rebounds. Minute left. Irish applaud to back to within 3. VJ Beecham connects from downtown. Game tied at 70, and the Irish are forcing overtime. And in the OT, they pull away. Beecham again, huge down the stretch. Notre Dame rallies from 16 down, and they knock Duke out of the ACC tournament with an 84-79 win.
Yeah, I kind of felt even today, even though, we had beaten them 4 out of 5, we were probably not counted on to escape. But it's a nice roll. We'll take that. Keeps us loose, keeps us hungry. We'll certainly be the underdog tomorrow night.
Well, tomorrow the Irish will take on North Carolina, a team they've beaten once already this year, and the team they beat in the ACC championship game a year ago. So certainly stranger things have happened, but big win for the Irish. We know they're already in the NCAA tournament. This will help their seeding, no doubt.
Yeah. Just like they planned it, though. Get down, come back, go to OT, win it. Yeah, no problem.
There are certainly easier ways to win a ball game, but this time of year, all that matters is the win.
It was exciting. All right, Pete, we'll see you again in sports. Thanks.
Someone's been buying up several vacant properties in Benton Harbor. A look at who's behind it ahead at 6.
And Matt is talking about warmer temperatures on the way again. He'll tell us when. That's coming up next at 6.